Finally had to do it. A White Sox video talking about what's happening at the trade deadline, brought to you by Neighborhood Housing Services of Chicago. Go to nhschicago.org for Neighborhood Housing Services of Chicago. Get out of that stuffy apartment, get out of that overexpensive loft, and plant roots, plant seeds, and get yourself a home at Neighborhood Housing Services of Chicago. So no more Paul DeYoung, and no more Tanner Banks, and no more Eloy Jimenez, and no more Michael Kopech or Eric Fetty or Tommy Pham. And no hope for the White Sox in the future. The White Sox have lost 82 games this season, as I record this. 82 games. You know how embarrassing that is before you even get to August 1st? So you don't really have a future, and certainly don't have a present, clearly, right? So when you are bereft of minor league talent, and you don't have players that you could build around on this roster right now, players that you can build on this roster right now for the White Sox, when you have a manager that you're going to fire at the end of the season because this has been a disaster under Pedro Grifol, when you don't have a style of play, when you don't have money to spend because you know Jerry Reinsdorf will not be spending money to make this thing better, when you don't have a general manager that has experience, it is really difficult to see the future for the Chicago White Sox, because all those things matter. All those things I just mentioned are facets of a team that's going nowhere fast. That's where the White Sox are going. So where's the Joe Creedys as far as minor league talent that's developed and they're with the big ball club? And where is like the Paul Konerkos and the Ray Durhams and the Frank Thomases and players like that you built through your farm system and they're ready to go? You don't have this on this White Sox team. It is amazing to me that Luis Robert and Garrett Crochet are still on this ball club. They traded a lot of players, but yet Garrett Crochet's still here. Garrett Crochet is pretty smart. He goes, oh, you want to trade me? Sure, trade me to a place in which they will secure the bag since the White Sox won't. And now he's still here because Chris Getz could not find a trade partner for Garrett Crochet. Luis Robert's still on this ball club as well. Here's the thing. If those two are still on this team next year, okay, so where are you going next year? Where are you going a year after that? And where are you going a year after that? That's where the White Sox are right now. You think about some of the good players that the Sox were able to develop through the minor league system, like Garrett Crochet and Tim Anderson, Chris Sale. But they're few and far in between because along with that, there's a lot of Andrew Vaughns. And there's a lot of Carson Fulmers and Lance Broadways and Nick Madrigals. It's not good, Sox fans. It's not good at all. So this feeling like, oh, there's hope on the horizon. You could just see it. This ain't the Bears. It's not the Bears. This is going to take a long, long time for the Sox to be able to get to where they want to be. Just remember the keys to this now. It's about ownership. And maybe the ownership changes between now and 2030. I don't know. But this decade is washed. It's done. The Sox are not going to be a contender this decade because there's no direction for the team. You have an inexperienced guy at the general manager position. Do you like that trade for Eric Fetty? I think Fetty had 6 or 7 wins. The Sox only have 27 wins on the season. People think he got fleeced on the deal. The best deal he made was for Eloy Jimenez. And I hope that he has a couple of golden crutches to take with him to Baltimore because he's going to need them. Guy could never stay healthy, had some great moments with the White Sox, but then the majority of his moments is his inability to go down to first base or turn the corner to go to second base. That's the legacy of Eloy Jimenez. So what I'm telling you, Sox fans, is that 27-83, you know that's not good enough. And you know we're going to see the worst team we've ever seen on the South Side right here and right now. But it doesn't get turned quickly. It doesn't. What I'm interested to see is how the Sox are going to handle this Garrett Crochet scenario. That's what I want to know. Like, are they going to come up with the money to pay for him? Is Luis Robert going to be here next season? All I know is that Chris Getz has his hands full. And I just thought that he was just okay in the minor league system. Imagine now that he's in the hot seat, trading off all these parts. An embarrassment to baseball, the Chicago White Sox, an embarrassment to the South Side that they can't get this done anytime soon. It's bad and actually worse than you think.